Hello. Hi there. How is it going? I came up across this one movie, which I don't really know the name of, but the woman in the movie was talking about how um, usually women are wearing pants and they're becoming kind of more like men because in society it's more desirable, and women are kind of left alone if they are acting like men or if they're presenting a bit more masculine. But on the contrary, I think feminine people, including trans women, gay feminine men, or feminine women who are cis also, face a lot of backlash from society as being useless in some sense because beauty is not valued in capitalistic society. So, what do we do about this? Well, one thing we could do is actually to encourage how femininity is actually a good thing. Now, some people could argue that, well, what is femininity? Like, were you just going to go call certain traits feminine traits and certain traits masculine traits? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. But eventually, I think, and this is my perspective from what's happening in countries I've lived in, and I've lived in girl, a handful of countries from California, United States to the west, and Hangzhou, China in the east, and things in between. Now I'm in Spain. Wait, let me fix this. Look at that lift. Oh, girl. Eventually, what I'm trying to get at is in China, more women are wearing black on black, short hairs in the summer, and not maybe being too feminine because in the workplace you don't need to be feminine anymore. If not, it will get you in trouble because men will hit on you, and most women do not want men to hit on them. So, what do we do about this? Women start becoming a bit less feminine because, well, you don't need to be pretty at work once you get the job, which is true. I don't think anyone needs to be pretty to get a job. That's discrimination. And I think also men work, I'm going to hate myself for saying this. Men will probably will not think of you sexually as much if you do not present yourself feminine in a feminine way, right? So what does this mean? Testosterone and libido are connected, which means if your body is testosterone dominant, then your libido is going to be higher in general. I have friends who are trans men and they're taking testosterone shots, like literally pumping their bodies with testosterone. This is a cute shirt. Eventually, these two that I'm talking to that I know that are friends of mine are having intense libido, and even their clitoris, their part, is so sensitive. Sometimes they say, even when I'm walking, like if it rubs, it touches anything, it's too sensitive and it can be problematic. So that's something to think about next time you think of men and women being equal. Well, there should be equal in relation to how they contribute to society in relation to work, but I do not think they are equal biologically, seeing how most men, including trans men, are testosterone dominant, and most women, including trans women, are estrogen dominant. Non-binary people are interesting. So if you know anything about non-binary people and what's going on with their bodies, please comment. Um, the next thing to talk about is that society also pushed lots of people to be more masculine because look at how many women, um, let's say, call them man jobs, but look at how many women got into the man world, which was things that women couldn't do. Now, we could say these are not man things. Of course, they're not man things, but I don't see many men going and joining womanly things, right? So if you go to the past, even today, like caring for children is a big thing that women do, and you have a big issue of kindergarten teachers being men. So now we're saying, no, 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 no. We want men to be taking care of kids and hanging out with kids a bit more often, but also we do not trust men to be our children because men are sexual predators, which is kind of the story of what men are and why shouldn't we trust them with our kids to be alone with their kids. Some men are, some women are too, but in general, the numbers show that, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to trust your child with a man. Um, especially in big groups of children. But this is not good data, because just because you have an exception or an outlier in research, because I do research, doesn't mean the data is skewed. You have to take this outlier out and push men to be kindergarten teachers, because I think young boys do not even have this interaction with their men, which is their fathers, if they have like a, what do you call it, father mother kind of family. Besides this, they probably do not have anyone to interact with who is an older male if their father is working all day long. And then they go to school and it's like the teacher is a girl, it's a woman. And then they go to elementary school and the teachers are women. And they go to middle school and teachers are still women. So this little man doesn't have an idea what it is to be a man. Maybe on the weekend they can go hang out with their father, but in general, what do they know? What do they know about manhood? So I think it's problematic, but men do not want to go and choose these jobs for, I think, financial reasons. Also, I think women want and like if men are involved with children, right? It's like if you want to have children and if you want to get pregnant and you see a man who's like, yeah, like I'm an elementary school teacher or I'm a kindergarten teacher. And that would be like a massive plus, because a woman wants someone to take care of her and her child. Well, not take care of her, but like be a good teammate. And, I care for you, you care for me. I don't want you to be another baby in my life. So go do your part. If you like children, it's excellent, because then you know what it means to care for children, which is not easy. Now, the pay is not well. So why would men go become kindergarten teachers and deal with all these screaming kids? Right? It's a bit problematic, but I think this is a very important position. It's a very important job that we need to push men towards, just like we pushed women to join STEM fields, just like we pushed women to join military and dress up in different ways. I want to see men and children, male children, to be dressed up in skirts and dresses and not afraid to show color and not afraid to be feminine and still not be called gay. Like, why is it that a woman who has short hair and doesn't wear dresses and maybe wears loose pants isn't directly called a lesbian, but a man who wears very, very tight clothes and colors their hair pink or makes their hair very long and have it like mine would automatically be labeled as gay? So there's a bit of a standard here. I think women did excellent job of destroying this image of what a woman should be, and men are still stuck with an old school idea of what men are, and most of them are happy with it until recently, because very recently, these last couple, was it 10 to 20 years, decades, 2 decades, men feel like they have no position in life, because they used to be the breadwinner. They have to go and make money so that the girl can stay at home and take care of the child, because one has to make money, one has to take care of the children. Men decided, well, okay, I think I can make more money since the system is messed up. And the woman would be taking care of the child because, well, there's breastfeeding, if that's the thing that you want to do today. But in the past, that was a thing that was common. So the woman, the mother, typically, or the woman of the village, of the community, also sometimes breastfeeds the neighborhood's children. Isn't that fun? I don't know if I want a bunch of kids chewing on my nipples, but I think the concept behind it is really nice. So I think we should push more men to choose definitely more jobs outside of finance or money making positions, right? Like, I don't know if I was lucky, because I can see now myself as a trans and I'm seeing how things definitely fit well. I chose linguistics as a major. I never thought of how much money I'm going to be making. I never really worried about supporting a family and taking care of children and being the man of the house. And I always thought like it's going to be 50-50. Even today, as a trans woman, I would always be a 50-50 person. Like on the first date, I want to pay my half, you pay your half. That's how much I respect you. Like imagine a man going on 4 dates on a like this 1 week off they have, and the first date he pays for it and she doesn't hang out with him later. The second date he pays for it, the third, the fourth, and in 1 week you spent like $100 or more because you had to eat and she had to eat and you had to pay for both of you, and you did not get to actually meet someone interesting. On the other hand, the woman will be like, okay, well, I met a couple of guys. I got to eat. I didn't spend any money, spent some time. Maybe I'm a bit unsafe in some sense. But I think it definitely hurts men a lot more that they have to be this pay bank machine, which kind of pushes men to be a bit more aggressive with certain things because that gives them control or expectations of what they want to control because that's what I'm doing, that's what you're doing because I'm doing this and then that's what you need to be doing. Is it always this case? I actually do not know. But I think we need to move away from all these. I would love to see more men in bikinis, in thongs, in miniskirts, like see their bulge. Like I do not like to show my balls. It's my problem. But there is one guy from Barcelona who posts videos wearing bikinis and miniskirts and like very feminine clothes, and he has a beard. Like he's not like your girly like no facial hair and big muscles. He does have muscles. I don't know how that works. But if you're a man and you're watching this, would you wear heels to work? Why or why not? Would you wear a skirt? Maybe like below the knee skirt. Could be cute. Could be a nice change. It would be more comfortable for you in some sense because, there's like lots of freedom for you there in the middle. Would you, I mean, hair is a different story. Some people do not have hair, so sorry. Look at my hair. Like, would you paint your nails? Maybe it's useless, it's a lot of work, you have to do it. But like, if you had the chance, or you're like chilling at home, what kind of self care do you do on weekends? Besides sitting and drinking, or going out and drinking, or just eating and watching TV, right? So I don't know if all women do this. I definitely do this. Sundays are my days, meaning I go and have this 2 hour long shower, I think, more or less. What I do is I exfoliate. I do my hair, like really do my hair with like hair masks, hair gels, conditioners, shampoos, leave in, and I just sit there and shave my body and, do all that I want to scrape my feet with this rock. And I don't want to rush it. I don't want it to finish. I'm just kind of taking my time. I have my music, and it takes a while, and then I have to do my hair. I have to dry my hair, I have to oil my hair, and that also takes time. I don't do this every single day, and I do not definitely wash my hair every single day. No. This is something we do only on the weekends, and that would be like a self care. And then I come out, and I feel very good, like I'm very refreshed. And then I would probably do my nails. I would file my nails. Sometimes I don't paint them because this week it's fine. Like I painted these last weekend, and I don't need to redo them. So all I need to do is kind of file them up and get some nice food and take care of my skin and pretty much just, take care of my body and my image and myself. And with this, I would start the week on Monday, usually, very content with myself and having a very good mood and ready to take over. And I think it's necessary. Many men do not do that. Some men do, which is actually excellent. So I would recommend many of you to. I know you're probably shocked. Why do I have all these scarves? I have a bunch of scarves. I'm thinking of wearing this because I want to go out, but I don't know what to do. I think my hair is fine. I don't know. I like it like this, right? So like I think this looks very cute. But it's nice weather today, and it's my last weekend here in Vigo. We have La Reconquista, which is the taking over of this city by the locals from the French. Hooray, hooray. So we're going to go celebrate this. Hopefully, I'm not going to be cold because I just shipped all my clothes and boxes and a suitcase, even my guitar. So I don't have many things to wear. I'm going to wear this before my flight, which is like at 7 a.m. I need to leave this house and it's going to be cold. So I need something, and then I'm gonna wear this under probably, like because it's gonna be very warm later in Seville. So I would say go try something feminine. Let's embrace a bit more feminine energy. This capitalistic society is pushing people to be very competitive, very aggressive, very selfish, and I think it's very harmful to see everyone just separating from the group and only thinking about themselves, right? Which I'm kind of guilty of. I'm trying to leave this society of mentality, I mean, of taking care of myself only. And this is why in the South, I'm joining this association of LGBT people, trans people, and I want to kind of offer to work with them. I could be teaching English classes to them because I have, experience teaching English. So I want to do something like this, and hopefully it would help people to connect and have, like, trans people at least, because we're also more disconnected than the world because of how they look at us, how they talk to us, how they treat us. So eventually I want to be there for people, right? So instead of take, 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 I want to be give, 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 give. So I want to give them time. I want to give them lessons if they want to. I want to give them sisterhood. I want to give them motherhood, whatever they're lacking, whatever I could be part of. I'll be patient. I'm trying to be patient with people. I'm not gonna let people take advantage of me, sure, but I am definitely more patient now than I used to, because I'm thinking, you know what, you need this more than I do. I can probably handle it, and then I'll have my Sunday for myself, and I'll be fine. So go, be nice, be feminine, try it if you haven't tried it. You never know. Don't worry about women. I think a lot of men are stuck with this idea of, if I show a little bit of femininity, you cannot find a partner. For men, having sex or having a partner is very important. So, and women are actually very harsh judges onto what men are and aren't. Like, this is very easy to be called gay if you do anything different than what they expect, and men hate that. So this is where women kind of have the power over how men feel if they do something. And I had ex-girlfriend who actually did this to me, and it pushed me to be fake masculine, hyper masculine, just to not be called gay again and again and again. And eventually I gave up. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with all of you women and your critiques and your expectations of me. And eventually I let myself free, and here I am, and I don't even date women anymore. So good luck to all the men who date women. Honestly, I feel you. So be patient. I'll see you later.